In the past 24 hours, there's been a surplus of information circulating about the conflict between Israel and Iran, specifically detailing the United States' growing involvement in the matter. This, for example, includes Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, and President Trump of the United States being in communication to discuss the United States' involvement in the strikes. A surplus of news sources have also reported that Trump has become increasingly warm to the idea of United States involvement in the matter. In the president's own words, he stated that he wanted an unconditional surrender instead of a simple ceasefire. Amid the rising conflict, Netanyahu stated a concerning quote, "Today it is Tel Aviv, tomorrow it is New York." And he said this in defense of the idea that the United States should further its involvement and defend Israel in the attacks. From major news sources, this quote has been interpreted in two manners. First being that tomorrow, on June 18th, there's a possibility for an Iranian attack on New York. The second being that this is Netanyahu's direct call to action from the United States that they must get involved in the matter if they do not want their own civilians to be harmed. To dissect the credibility of both of these stances, I'm going to go farther into the quote, where it is followed by the statement, "I understand America first. I don't understand America dead. That's what these people want. They chant death to America. So we're doing something that is in the service of mankind, of humanity, as a battle of good against evil." From this further context that is not being traditionally reported right now, it is clear that this statement about New York is not a direct threat, timeline, or date or location for where Netanyahu himself believes or where the intel is showing there could be strikes, but it is rather a call to action stating that the American people, in his belief, are part of this as well. For the New Yorkers concerned by headlines detailing an attack tomorrow, it is crucial that there's an understanding that it is not something that has been threatened by the Iranian government or by the Israeli government, but it is simply a general statement about the United States and their citizens' involvement in the matter. For the latter of the two scenarios, the second one being that the United States' involvement was the reason for Netanyahu's statement here about New York, it is true that Trump has had increasing involvement and an increasing idea to become more involved against Iran. However, this statement by itself is not enough to simply take out that there is manipulation from Israel to get the United States to join. It is now that I urge any viewer to do their own research because the facts of the matter are not laid out enough to bring out an unbiased viewpoint, and it is up to each individual to educate themselves and to decide how they believe this tactic is being used or if they do believe that it is genuine intelligence and a threat. As a final piece of information, there have been many TikTokers and military spouses who have reported interesting changes in the military life that they are used to. For example, more expensive food such as lobster, as well as increasing deployments, and even certain people who have found that more planes are being sent overseas. While this is not a confirmed statistic, nor is it covered in many traditional medias, this is important to note as often civilians can be important sources of new information. In times like these, I urge everyone to do their own research and not simply take any news medias, nor my own, as their own concrete opinions, but instead to further their own education and use this as a singular resource. If you have any specific intelligence on the matter or would simply like to bring your own opinion to the table, please reach out to Young Mind Mission.